today's news, the BVI Health Services Authority opens new medical laboratory. Amendments come in 2023 to the Social Security Board, legislations to improve operations, legislation to combat crime and modernize the BVI's judicial system expected in 2023, and more males encouraged to get certified in home care. Well, viewers, these are more stories when 284 News return.
It's that time for the NFL playoffs every weekend with CCT Live, showing every game on CBS, NBC, ABC, and ESPN, including the Super Bowl. Sign up for CCT Live today.
There's no game like this game!
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and ask about a 1-month free trial to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
It feels good.
Well, welcome viewers to the Wednesday, January 25th edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. While leading today's news, members of the BVI Health Services Authority officially launched the opening of their new laboratory with a ceremony at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital this morning. Well, the laboratory, which will serve as the Center for Laboratory Services here in the Virgin Islands, stands poised at benefiting the public in providing faster, more efficient services. Well, our Ron Grant has more on this report.
We are here at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith, the BVI Health Services Authority Laboratory. The newly commissioned and open laboratory is expected to be of top-notch service to the residents of the British Virgin Islands. It is also expected to be accredited in the coming months. Of course, this has been due to the hard work of the BVI Health Services Authority and particularly the workers here at the laboratory. Let's take a look. The ceremonies, which was attended by dignitaries as well as staff of the BVIHSA, saw a number of speakers expressing gratitude to the staff for their hard work in getting to this point.
There's something special about this lab and the certification that it will receive this year. It will be the first and only overseas territory lab that will be certified. That's a big deal, a very, very big deal. The board of directors extend our great appreciation to the ministry, to everyone involved with ensuring that the BVI receives the best quality services from this lab. We extend also our deepest appreciation to the Rotary Club. Thank you again. Let's give them another round of applause for the great donations and support it has given the BVIHSA overall, but most specifically to this laboratory.
We are excited about this expansion and what it represents for us as a territory. We see the services that the lab manager outlined and the intention to make this place a center of excellence, not just for the BVI, but for the region. I think that has to be our goal for the entire facility, to make the facility a center of excellence. So of course, it's going to continue to come to the BVI from within the region to access service. I know we were well on our way in that endeavor. I think we had some hiccups, but we intend to continue to move in that direction. As I said, government is a continuum. I think it's important for us, once these initiatives that are important to the institution and the country begins, that we continue those initiatives despite who is the minister or who is the government in place. Because at the end of the day, we have to do what is the best interest for our country. So as the ministry, I want to commend the ministry for the work they've done to facilitate the infrastructural build-out of this facility, to facilitate the administrative and policy shift that the HSA is undertaking.
Minister for Health, the Honorable Marlene Penn, took time to elaborate on the significance of this milestone and encourage residents to take advantage of these services.
No, I'm very excited about this transition. As you know, the Health Services Authority received accreditation just recently, and now we've expanded from our old lab facility to this new expanded facility where we're not just going to have a bigger space, we're offering more enhanced services, longer hours, and it provides more service to the population and the wider region in terms of laboratory service. As I said earlier in my remarks, I expect this facility to be a center of excellence, not just for BVI, but for the region. So persons could come to us, validate their tests, and be able to come here and get the services that they need, healthcare services that they need. And it's an exciting time for us in health services. As I've been saying constantly, there needs to be a partnership between the public health system and the private health system to be able to offer the level of service that the people of this territory require and need and deserve. The big deal for us here, the HSA is a big deal for us as a territory. But I believe we need to offer, and BVI has always been about high service, excellence, and a center of excellence is what I'm striving for in terms of our healthcare. And us be able to offer those services in the region is a big deal. I know we started that process. We had our medical labs, clinics with HEMA, and the relationship that we formed with the private sector and persons outside in Puerto Rico, the HEMA network. We had specialty doctors come into the hospital and offer certain services to the territory. We've now expanded our Roton clinic.
Yes.
We have upgraded facility. We're now in the final steps of finalizing that process to be able to offer those specialized services again to the public and a wider region in the hospital. So we're excited about the possibilities for healthcare in the BVI and the people in Dr. Orlando Smith Hospital leading the way in offering those services to the territory and to the region.
Thanks to the kind contribution of the Rotary Club of Tortola, the lab at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital was able to receive a number of high-quality equipment. The Chief of Laboratory Services, Mrs. Davion Nicholson, took time to explain the importance of the equipment received as well as to express thanks to the Rotary Club of Tortola and her staff at the BVIHSA for their diligence in seeing the project to this point.
Rotary Club donated the equipment that you're seeing there is the equipment that can do all the different testing, especially when you donate a unit of blood. Okay. We were able to run the different tests, and you can get that unit of blood just as we receive it. Understood. Same day, back to the same patient. So in-house now, with all the equipments that they donated to us, that gave us the ability to able to run all the different tests.
How important is this to the moving forward of the laboratory?
That is so important that I think I need to pull my mask to show you the expert. So important to the community, because without blood, we're nowhere. And that is very, 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 very important to this community. And I can attest to persons don't have to be afraid to come here and get the test done, because if you want your family to get your blood, your family can get your blood. If you want to get your own blood, you can get your own blood. So don't be afraid. I'm so excited. I just wanted to smile. Because our staff in-house is excellent on doing everything, but it's just that we didn't have the equipment to get it done on ground. So salute to the Rotary Club.
For 284 News, I'm Ron Grant.
Well, a sweep of legislation amendments is on the agenda of the National Unity Government to improve the operations of the Social Security Board in 2023. Well, Governor His Excellency John Rankin announced the amendments to be made during his speech from the throne on Tuesday, which will be brought before the House of Assembly this year.
Government will seek to amend the Social Security Act, Cap 266, to increase the membership of the Social Security Fund Investment Committee and provide that its recommendations be referred to the Board for ratification. The legislation that is being proposed will provide for the Board to pay legal costs only in cases where rulings from the courts are not in favour of the Board, and provide for how reimbursements will be handled where the beneficiary has another private health insurance plan.
Well, Governor Rankin also disclosed that several other amendments will be made to the Social Security Act to improve the general governance and administration of the Social Security Fund and the National Health Insurance Fund. Well, further to the Act, Rankin said amendments will also be geared toward several regulations.
Government also intends to make amendments to the Social Security Contributions Regulations, the Social Security Benefits Regulations, and the Social Security National Health Insurance Regulations to improve the effectiveness and sustainability of the social insurance system.
Well, up next, legislation to combat crime and modernize the BVI's judicial system is expected in 2023, and more males encouraged to get certified in home care, and Deputy Governor's outlook for 2023 in the public service. But these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
Hun, it's asking for your password.
Huh?
You were logged out. I need the password.
BR,
What's the rest?
BRANDI, the number 4, EVER?
Who's Brandy?
We're like the password that isn't your ex-girlfriend's name. CG Insurance. Good like that.
I should have changed it.
You should have.
You're right.
Freeze. Choose your mix. Choose your flavor.
Yo, everything good there?
Aye. This thing got me one way that day.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home. Keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, in an effort to improve measures of combating crime and modernizing the judicial system in the territory, the government of the Virgin Islands will be amending several dated legislations, as well as introducing new bills such as the witness anonymity legislation. Well, this was announced during the speech from the throne on Tuesday by His Excellency Governor John Rankin. Well, among the legislation to be updated is the Police Act and the Proceeds of Criminal Conduct Act 1997.
Government will seek to amend the Police Act, Cap 165. This will bring together an updated legislative basis for policing in the territory and provide a strong constitutional and professional base for a modernised police force. Supporting the proposed act would represent a positive and measured response to the current crime and community challenges facing the Virgin Islands and provide a real opportunity for the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force to emerge as a leading police force in the region. Government will also move to amend the Proceeds of Criminal Conduct Act 1997 to make provisions consistent with FATF recommendations, particularly as it relates to the civil forfeiture of proceeds of crime.
Well, Governor Rankin also announced plans for the implementation of the witness anonymity legislation, a bill that was first announced to the public in 2018. But once passed and assented to, it will protect the identities of witnesses involved in certain court cases by giving the court the ability to effect a witness anonymity order to protect the safety of any witness.
The witness anonymity legislation will be brought forward to ensure the protection of witnesses and the preservation of their rights by making provisions for a court to make a witness anonymity order to protect the witness's safety, prevent damage to property, and prevent real harm to the public interest. This would be an invaluable tool in assisting with combating serious crime. At the same time, it would also help to bolster public confidence in the criminal justice system.
Well, several amendments to legislation governing the BVI's courts were also announced, including the Magistrates Code of Procedure Chapter 44 and the Criminal Procedures Rules.
Amendments to the second schedule of the Magistrates' Code of Procedure, Chapter 44, will be brought forward to bring filing and service-related fees more in line with the fees charged in other jurisdictions and current operational costs. The current schedule of fees is more than 36 years old and is the lowest in the region. The fees were updated in 1985. Therefore, the current rates are not reflective of the cost of living in the Virgin Islands, nor the increased operational cost associated with a magistracy of a higher level of functioning than yesteryears. Similar to the civil procedure rules, government will bring forward the criminal procedure rules to serve a vital role in managing all criminal matters filed within the Supreme Court. This will improve upon the Criminal Procedure Code and provide a more detailed framework for the administration of justice in this area. The Criminal Procedures Rules will make provisions for filing dates and deadlines for certain matters, case management procedures, disclosure, adjournments, bail, and service of documents, among other matters.
While the British Virgin Islands Red Cross celebrated the 16 graduates who are now qualified to provide home care aid after completing a recent course with the entity, the graduation ceremony was not without reflection on the difficulties of the job ahead and the need for more persons to get involved in such initiatives. Well, as she addressed her fellow graduates, Marilyn Freeman issued a call to the wider community, especially males, to see the need to get certified in such a necessary field.
I would like to encourage males to register for the next session, as there were no male present during this course. Try it and you will love the experience.
Well, Freeman was part of an all-female graduating group from this course. As the community was encouraged to get involved, the event's keynote speaker, Kareem Nelson Hull, reflected on the type of individual who should consider such a role and how fulfilling the seemingly strenuous job of a caretaker could be.
The truth is, we need more people like you. People who understand the meaning of the word altruism. Altruism is defined as the unselfish concern for the welfare of others. And that's what you have, altruism. I want to thank you for your altruism. Everyone has two reasons for the work that they do in life. There's a professional and a personal reason. The professional reason looks like this. This looks good on my resume. I'm going to do it because my employer assigned me to do it and I respect authority. The professional reason says, at least I have a job and others don't have a job. But there is no number of professional reasons that keeps anyone happy when they work. When you're frustrated, when your patients and clients are being difficult, or when the families at home act like you're the lawyer, the doctor, the Indian, and the chief. So you will find that the personal reason will be the longest lasting and most important reason to why you will do this job. Those personal reasons sound like this. I find joy in helping people. Yes. With this job, I am able to feed my family. This calling helps people to live with dignity. Each time I get to a home, the elderly or injured person lights up when they see me come to the door.
In his monthly message for January, Deputy Governor David Archer Jr. provided some insight into what public officers are to expect in 2023 as they keep up the momentum of what he described as a busy year prior. When he noted that public officers could expect some anticipated updates on the payment of increments and the direction of the public service very soon.
I know 2022 brought you lots of work, more dedication, but hopefully this year, along with more work and more dedication, will also come some enjoyment. Naturally, you should expect to hear a decision about the payment of increments rather soon. Equally, for 2023, a wider and greater focus on customer service. With the hiring of a director of customer service, we have committed to our clients to serve them extremely well. As we work through 2023, remember, the Public Service Transformation Program is live, is active. It requires us to not just focus on the work that we do, but also to do it better and to serve our clients extremely well.
Well, while he admitted that some of the changes that have come as a result of the Commission of Inquiry have led to changes in the public service, it has greatly resulted in advancement for the sector. Well, he encouraged public officers to keep working hard in that regard.
The COI has brought lots of changes to the public service. And as we continue to be greater and better as we serve our clients through accountability and other mediums, we will rise to the challenge. So in 2023, look out for a great work year, but most importantly, a work year which requires you public officers to be active, to be alert, tell us what you're feeling, but also to know that we care and we appreciate you.
Well, up next, the FBI to investigate SSL fraud in Jamaica and Toddler kidnapped in stolen police car in Trinidad and Tobago. But these stories when 284 News return.
That's out. That's 6. That's out.
With worldwide medical coverage and affordable premiums, we're like a home match that isn't played at your actual home. CG Insurance. Good like that.
My turn. Oh, come on, guys.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Freeze. Choose your mix. Choose your flavor.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, Jamaica's law enforcement agencies have reached out to the Federal Bureau of Investigation and other international partners to assist them in unraveling the nearly US $19.5 million fraud at investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited. The fraud, which has been ranked among the largest in Jamaica's history, has impacted more than 30 clients, including Jamaica's Olympic legend Usain Bolt, who has reported lost US $12.7 million. While speaking at a policy address on Jamaica's financial sector regulation on Monday, Minister for Finance and the Public Service, Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, disclosed that the FBI was contacted to help with investigating the large-scale fraud.
Having spoken with some of those leading the investigation, I can say that they are resolute and determined to unravel its complexities and bring all responsible to justice. In fact, based on the magnitude of this fraud and the lines of inquiry being pursued, the Financial Investigations Division and the Fraud Squad have already, last week, sought assistance from the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI, and other international partners.
Well, Dr. Clark said there will be full transparency in the matter, with no stone to be left unturned.
The investigative authorities have full operational independence and will pursue the facts wherever they may lead. They will unearth exactly how funds were allegedly stolen, who benefited from such theft, and who organized and collaborated in this. The probe will also seek to identify whether assets have been acquired with the proceeds of this fraud, whether here in Jamaica or overseas. If and when such assets are identified, all legal steps will be taken to restrain these assets with the intention of full forfeiture.
The minister also spoke on the negative impact that the fraud has left on the financial services industry and on the country as a whole.
The SSL fraud has touched especially raw nerves. A nerve that represents the reservoir of distrust that has developed based on what many believe to be the historical Jamaican experience of one law for some and another law for others. A nerve that captures the wells of suspicion that white-collar crimes are processed and treated differently from other crimes. A nerve that characterizes the deep pool of cynicism in our country, where there is sometimes a belief that the real truth is artificially suppressed and nothing ever really changes. These waters of distrust, suspicion, and cynicism are existential threats to our society. It will take time to drain the system of these, but we must begin now.
Well, Clark also said that despite this most unfortunate development, Jamaica's financial sector remains strong with many positives in the industry.
Within the financial sector, we have the banking sector, the securities dealer sector, pensions, insurance, among other operations. Within the security dealer world, there are 38 licensed security dealers operating in Jamaica. Security dealers, according to information from the FSC, had assets under management that exceeded $1.4 trillion as at September 30th of 2022. The assets managed by SSL in all represented a little over 2% of the total assets under management by security dealers. This does not minimize anyone's loss.
An outlandish attempt at kidnapping has landed a young woman on the wrong side of the law in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, according to reports, the 24-year-old, who is now in police custody, was detained after she stole a service vehicle from a police station in central Trinidad and used it to kidnap a toddler in Arima this week. Well, police say this perpetrator is no stranger to the family of her victim. On the day of the incident, she was reportedly left alone briefly with a toddler while the child's parents were out of the house. While to the horror of the parents, their daughter was nowhere to be found when they returned home around 2 p.m. Upon speaking with members of the community, they were informed by neighbors that the woman was seen taking a child away from the home. Well, the woman was intercepted by police of the North Central Division after the stolen police car was sighted in Tacarigua about 10:30 p.m. Well, despite a brief car chase which ensued after failed attempts to get the woman to stop speeding away, officers were successful in rescuing the young girl. A preliminary report said the woman behind the abduction is likely to be charged with kidnapping and theft. Well, meanwhile, the victim of this kidnapping attempt, a 1-year-old girl, was taken for a medical examination following the incident and subsequently reunited with her parents. Well, viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.